תזכיר לי שלא אשכח, ואם יום אחד ידעך גם הכוח להחזיר, לא אשכח.
States of America. This is WRMI, Okeechobee, Florida. Radio Miami International. You can find out more about WRMI at our website, WRMI.net. That's WRMI.net. Visit our website and share your QSL reports. This is WR Live, Okeechobee, Florida.
Well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone listening in to tonight's broadcast of VORW Radio International, the voice of the report of the week, going out to you this Friday, the 16th of April, 2021. This broadcast is going out to you on 4 radio stations. WRMI 5850 kilohertz shortwave, WWCR 6115 kilohertz shortwave, WNQM AM 1300 for our listeners in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and WITA 1490 AM for our listeners in the Knoxville, Tennessee area. And this broadcast is also streaming online via TuneIn Radio for listeners around the world. No matter how you're listening, when you're listening, or where you're listening in from, I wish you good reception conditions, and I hope you enjoy this broadcast. Welcome, one and all. Happy Friday. We made it through another week, didn't we? Somehow we managed to, and evidently here we are. So once again, welcome, one and all. Also, I hope everyone out there tuned in right now is feeling and doing all right, whether you're a long-time listener or a first-time listener. Great to be ORW. I'm doing okay today. I got a decent rest, a good 9-hour sleep. I fell asleep at 6 a.m. and woke up at 3 p.m. So that's, I kind of slept the day away, but I got a good rest either way. I am a hardcore night owl, so no surprises there, at least to me. And otherwise, everything seems to be going all right on my end. For those of you who are primarily online listeners, or at least are familiar with my content online, 2 things I'll probably be doing in that realm, so to speak. Firstly, I've been working on a new podcast that I would say is pretty much done. So probably tomorrow I'm going to be busy editing it, and then hopefully it'll be all good to go maybe by Sunday or Monday. So that's the first thing. That podcast actually, it's winding up to be much longer than I ever anticipated it being. So I'm just trying to think. It's going to get to the point where I'm either going to have to cut it down a little bit or just take the risk and keep it as long as it is. But sometimes I do wonder. I think it does get to a point where the show is just too long that people might find it a bit overwhelming. And, I mean, right now I have like 6 to 7 hours of audio that have been recorded. Not that I did that when I'm sitting, it's just over the last week, every night. I'll pretty much just grab the microphone for an hour and talk. And this is what we wind up with. But I think once it gets, it'll be cut down either way to eliminate, various pauses or whatever. You probably just shave an hour off of it right then and there. So we'll see how long it winds up being, but I can't make any guarantees as to its length. It certainly won't be as rushed as the last show was. That's a guarantee there. And otherwise, in regards to the YouTube channel, just an update on some of the, potential content going forward. The next thing that it looks like I'm going to review, I'll be completely honest with you, I don't have a good feeling about it. In terms of how I feel the video is going to do, that's what I mean. I am already expecting failure from a statistical point of view, and I'm just establishing that first and foremost. It's just really weird, and it makes me think that so many of these press releases, like these websites, are probably bribed or paid to do this sort of stuff. I know it's kind of conspiratorial, but I'm willing to bet that it's just all artificial. Because Taco Bell released some sort of potato, some sort of potato burrito type of thing. And 1 week ago, the number of news articles, the mainstream media talked about this thing. There was news article after news article saying, on April 15th, Taco Bell is going to be bringing back this beefy potato burrito, they said. And, they made it sound like this thing is the best thing that's ever hit the earth. And, the excitement is palpable, and people are going to be popping open bottles of champagne on the 15th, and they're going to be dancing around, and it's going to be insane. So that was a week ago. So assuming that there was actually that much hype, surely that, you would see some sort of, announcement or something on the 15th, and maybe there would be more articles or whatever about it. Yesterday, there was not a single mention of this thing. It was released, but there wasn't one single article about it, not one single blog post, not one single video, almost nothing on social media. So it makes me think that I don't even know if there's one single person that even exists on this planet that either knows that this item was actually released or cares about it, either way. And it makes me think that that whole first wave of posts and news articles that claim to be objectively written by various news sites, it was all just paid and sponsored. That's all that I could assume, because it makes no sense to me any other way. But aside from that, it's just, I guess, a marketing blitz, if you want to call it that. I'll go ahead and review it, but I am expecting very, very little interest whatsoever. So part of me, I don't think I'm actually going to do this, but part of me is really tempted to kind of course, extremely sarcastically play off of that and just be, extremely hyped up about this thing to the point where it's just absolutely absurd and pretend like this is the best day of my life because this thing got released. And it's obvious no one cares about it at all, just kind of, to poke fun at the previous advertising campaign. But I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't think many people are going to get that joke. But anyway, for anyone who's interested in the online content, that's what I've got planned. On one final miscellaneous note, This is just an honest question to anyone out there, and I'll keep it short, but anyone out there who has a radio, and, maybe if you're like a ham radio operator or you have multiple shortwave radios, I'm very familiar with the Texan shortwave radios. I'm familiar with all of them, although I just have personal dealings really with the Texan PL660. That's my favorite radio and my personal go-to. So I do some shortwave listening every day, and my Texan PL660, it's a couple years old, and it was starting to give me some issues. So I need to get a new radio. It's just, I know it's that time. And I'm just divided between getting another Texan PL660, because again, that's my favorite radio, and I know I'm going to like it, or upgrading and getting a Texan PL880. So if there's any people out there listening who have both of those radios, is there one that you would recommend more than the other? Because I'm very tempted to just get another Texan PL660, because I know I've used this radio for years, and I only have good things to say about it, and I don't know if the PL880 is really worth spending another $100 for. So that's just a question. I'll give out the email address a little later in the show, and if anyone has any feedback regarding that, I'm always interested. Into a short update of the COVID-19 statistics worldwide, and then we'll just get into the rest of the show. Worldwide, there are 140,500,000 total cases of COVID-19, 3,010,000 total deaths. Yesterday, 845,000 new cases were reported worldwide. This number is now officially the highest number of new cases reported worldwide ever in the single course of this pandemic. 14,000 new deaths reported worldwide. India reported 216,000 new cases, Brazil 80,000, the U.S. 75,000. Turkey reported 60,000, France reported 40,000 new cases, Germany 30,000, Iran, Argentina, and Poland reported case numbers in the 20,000s. And breaking down the 75,000 new cases in the United States by state, Michigan and New York reported 7,000 new cases each, Florida reported 6,000, Pennsylvania 5,000, New Jersey, Illinois, and Texas reported 3,000 cases each. A number of other states in the U.S. reported case numbers close to or exceeding 1,000. And that's all the news and the discussion on VORW Radio International. So if you're tuned in still, obviously you made it through the first, 10 minutes or so. Coming up now, since we got most of the discussion out of the way, we're going to be playing some music. If there's a song you want to hear, and it could be any genre, any era, what do you have in mind? It could be anything. So, music requests are welcome. I'll take some requests, and I'll try to play whatever I can. So think of a song you want to hear. Let me know the title, the artist, and maybe where you're listening from. Music requests are appreciated at vorwinfo@gmail.com. Again, that's vorwinfo@gmail.com. Song requests, again, are appreciated at that address. There we go. And likewise, because I don't have any statistics or analytics, I have no idea how many people out there are listening in right now. We could have anywhere from 5 people to 50,000 people listening, and I am none the wiser. So it'd be great to know that someone out there is tuning in. The only way I know that there's even an audience is if you write in and let me know. It's such a pleasure to hear from listeners, be that regular listeners or new listeners. And it would just be great to know someone out there is tuned in right now. So feel free to send in a short email with just a reception report and just say hello, vorwinfo@gmail.com. Anyway, think of music requests, and let's get to our first song of the night. An anonymous listener is requesting the song Leave My Way by the Psychedelic Furs.
This is not enough.
That was Love My Way by the Psychedelic Furs, a request for an anonymous listener. The music continues on VORW Radio International with a request from Neil in Wisconsin, tuned in on the shortwave. You'd like to hear the Village Green Preservation Society by the Kinks.
Preservation Society, God save the older, Bonneville and Rising. We are the Desperate Appreciation Society, God save strawberry jam and all the different varieties. Serving the old ways from being abused, protecting the new ways for me and for you. What more can we do? Preservation Society, God save Mrs. Moss and the old Mother Riley. We are the Custard Pie Appreciation Consortium, God save the George Club and all those who are loving them. We are the Sherlock Holmes English-speaking vernacular, God save the Manchu, we are the office life, persecution, infinity, God save the little shops, China clubs and virginity. We are the skyscraper, condemnation affiliates, God save Tudor houses, antique tables and billions, loving the old ways from being abused, protecting the new ways for me and for you. What more can we do? We are the Village Green Preservation Society, God save Donald Duck, Bonneville and Rising. We are the Desperate Dam Appreciation Society, God save strawberry jam and all the different varieties.
That was Nautical Disaster by the Tragically Hip, a request for Mark in Milverton, Ontario, Canada. He said, since you played that Gordon Lightfoot song last night, how about the Tragically Hip? So thank you, Mark. Before that was the Village Green Preservation Society by the Kinks, a request for Neil in Wisconsin. Reception reports, music requests, pieces of feedback are welcome at vorwinfo@gmail.com. Hillary in Ontario, Canada would like to hear Everybody Knows by Sigrid.
Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed. Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guys lost. Everybody knows the fight was fixed. The poor stay poor, the rich get rich. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that the boat is leaking. Everybody knows that the captain lied. Everybody got this broken feeling, like their father or their dog just died. Everybody talking to their pocket. Everybody wants a box of chocolates and a long stem rose. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that you love me, baby. Everybody knows that you really do. Everybody knows that you've been faithful. Oh, give or take a night or two. Everybody knows you've been discreet, but there were so many people you just had to meet without your clothes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. And everybody knows that it's now or never. Everybody knows that it's me or you. And everybody knows that you live forever when you've drawn a line or two. Everybody knows the deal is rotten. Old Black Joe's still picking cotton for your ribbons and bows. And everybody knows. And everybody knows
Home, Alabama by Leonard Skinnard, a request for Chris in San Diego, California. Before that was Everybody Knows by Sigrid, a request for Hillary in Ontario, Canada. All right, we have a listener in Southwest Virginia tuning in on 5850 kilohertz who requested the song Long Hard Climb by Maria Moldauer.
Hasn't it been a long, hard climb? Everything taking its own sweet time. Hasn't there been some long, lonely nights when you didn't think that anything would turn out right? Oh, baby, come and lay by me in the cool, cool shade of that old oak tree. You can go oh so high,
Mr. Blue Sky, a classic by Electric Light Orchestra, a request for James in Phoenix, Arizona, tuned in on 5850 kilohertz. Before that was Long Hard Climb by Maria Moldauer, a request for a listener in Southwest Virginia. This broadcast is going out to you right now, again on 4 radio stations. If you're tuned in right now, reception reports, pieces of feedback, music requests are welcome at vorwinfo@gmail.com. Once again, that's vorwinfo@gmail.com. I'd like to open up the email right now and give a couple quick shout-outs to some folks who are tuned in right now. I'd like to say hello to Dylan in Flintstone, Georgia, listening in on the shortwave. Had a little interference, it seems, but pretty stable reception so far. We have an email coming in from Samuel in Michigan. He said, sounds good here in Michigan. Jonathan writing in, tuned in the Mississippi Delta. Good reception. We've got GS tuned in on a WebSDR receiver in Washington, D.C. I'd like to say hello to Ruth and Heidi in St. Paul, Minnesota, tuned in on 5850 kilohertz. Jim in Chicago, Illinois, tuned in on 5850 as well. Sean in Duluth, Minnesota, strong and clear signal on 5850. We've got Josh, who said I'm about an hour north of Nashville, Tennessee, getting you with a great signal tonight. Thanks, Josh, over there in Tennessee. Jay in Western North Carolina, also listening in. He says I'm inside my apartment building, getting fair to good reception. Alice in Eastern Oregon, tuned in on 5850 and says, I haven't missed a show since we discovered the program 2 months ago. It's very enjoyable, so thank you, Alice, for your reception report. We have a comment from Gerardo, mostly in Michigan, but he says, today I'm in the Florida Keys, specifically Ohio Key, getting excellent reception. Now, this is, some constructive feedback, and I always welcome, if someone likes the show, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But folks are always welcome to impart their views, whatever they might be. So to tell you the truth, I don't really enjoy the COVID reports at the beginning of the show that you do. I would enjoy something a little more positive to lift people's spirits instead. So thank you, Gerardo, for your feedback. Certainly, that's not the first time that I've gotten that, and I respect your views. You can't please everyone, and that's just the way that, the world is. That's just how life is. And again, that's something that I'm very familiar with through the content that I produce online. I get a wide variety of reactions and impressions. So, it's something that I've thought about. Should I keep doing the COVID reports? Should I not? Because I know sometimes, reading off the statistics, it can be a little bleak. Once the situation does improve, I'm not going to sit there and nitpick every last little thing and try to make it seem like it's something that it's not. I've been doing these reports at the beginning of the show for well over a year now. I started in January of 2020, when everyone thought I was crazy for talking about the COVID at the time. And while I respect your view that, again, you might just not be a fan of it, I get that. There are lots of individuals out there who do tune in, some actually specifically for those reports. And because I know that there is a sizable number of individuals out there who do tune in for that update in every broadcast, I feel like if I were to stop it, it just wouldn't be the right thing to do, and it might leave some folks in the dark, again, who get something out of that. A good compromise that I would recommend, since again, it's constructive criticism, it's understandable, and I know you're a fan of the rest of the show. As you know, I don't really spend too long of a time doing these reports, in every broadcast. Maybe just 2 minutes at most, maybe 3 sometimes. But obviously I don't spend a ton of time doing this. And you know that it's always right at the beginning of the broadcast. So I would actually be willing to advise you, at least as long as it continues, tune in maybe at 10:05 p.m. instead of at 10 p.m., skip the first 5 minutes and the problem is solved. Go make a cup of coffee or something, get some fresh air, or whatever you want to do in the meantime. But, just skip the first couple minutes and then all is right in the world. But again, it's not something that's going to last forever. Just as the situation remains, the way that it is right now, it's just not something that I'm going to stop doing for the time being. But again, thank you for your feedback. I'm not one of those people that only wants to hear good things, so thanks for your feedback. And in New Mexico, excellent reception on 5850, and she said, I really enjoyed the little factoids on the songs last night. Thanks, Danielle. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Patricia in Iowa is checking in with some good listening, she said. And Leander in Boone, North Carolina, sending in a reception report. On one final note, Leander, I tried to respond, and I know this is kind of silly to say this on the air to a mass audience, but I've tried to respond to your emails in writing. I try to send written responses to as many listeners as I can, and every time I try to send you an email, it always bounces back. So I know that you're able to write to me, but I'm not able to get back to you. Every time I do, it says delivery incomplete, and it seems as though it has failed, the sending of the message anyway. So I just wanted to let you know. Maybe you're aware of that, but if you just haven't heard from me in a while, that's why. Any additional feedback is welcome at vorwinfo@gmail.com.
You got to make the morning laugh, just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy. Hello lamppost, what you knowin'? I come to watch your flowers growing. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Do it and do-do, feeling groovy. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy. I got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning time drop all its petals on me. Life, I love you, all is groovy.
The 59th Street Bridge song by Simon and Garfunkel, a request for Bill in Cincinnati, Ohio. This broadcast goes out to you every Thursday, Friday, Saturday evening at the time of 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Pacific. That's 0200 UTC on the frequency of 5850 kilohertz. That's 5.850 megahertz, shortwave. Any additional feedback, reception reports, or music requests is welcome at vorwinfo@gmail.com. And if you'd like a broadcast schedule in writing, just request one at that email address. Joanne in San Diego, California would like to hear Siva by Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, the strength down in my head.
And that's about all the time that we have for you on VORW Radio International. I hope you enjoyed all of the music that was in the broadcast tonight, and I hope you can be tuned in again tomorrow evening at the same time and frequency for more of the same. I'll certainly be here, and I hope you can be as well. Let's finish off the broadcast with a request from Linda in Wisconsin, a regular shortwave listener. She would like to hear By the River by Stu Larson. Thanks again for listening, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Be safe, be healthy, and I wish you all the very best. Take care. This is VORW.
By the river, through the summer, I waited patiently. You had promised with all your power to come and rescue me, to come and set me free. You were running through the valley, heading straight for me. My mind was shaking, but I was ready for you to rescue me, for you to set me free. So